morning, everybody. It's Brittany at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. We are going to follow center route this morning on the feeding routes. I'll show you the chart that we follow. So we've got some good cats here today that most of you have been asking about. So we'll see Frankie, see Loki, we'll see some lynx, servals, got some savannah cats, some caracals, and some leopards. And we're gonna follow Bonnie. Hi. All right.
All right. You can go. You're right. All right.
Good morning, Robin. Hello, Nor. So we have Dylan, our intern, and Bonnie, who's going to be our feeder. Lots of hungry cats waiting. Good morning, Rochelle. Everybody's saying hi, Bonnie. And this is Dylan.
Hi.
Dylan's one of our interns that's here for 3 months. Possibly longer. Some stay forever, it seems like. It gets addictive.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful morning. You can hear Cameron. Cameron's been roaring a lot this morning, which is awesome.
Yeah, we heard him last night as well.
Hi. Nice. That's awesome. So Cameron's been up and roaring a lot. He's still eating pretty good.
Hey, can you follow in the back section of the enclosure, please? Thank you.
So we're just walking out to, we refer to it as center route. Let's say hi to Andy, of course. Hi, bud. Andy's on front route. We're gonna follow center route. We have 4 routes here for feeding. You're either front, center, back, or out back. So we're gonna follow center route. Good morning, Dana. Good morning, Marsha. If you guys are just joining, this is Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. Good morning, Donna. We're gonna follow Senior Keeper Bonnie and intern Dylan while we feed center route. You have to stop and say hi to everyone you pass. There's King Tut.
Oh, they finally took his pyramid out.
Yes, his pyramid had really been through the ringer.
Good morning. He said, I loved my box. Yes, I did.
Well, the internet's been demanding they get permanent ones put in.
Yeah. Every morning you would be sitting in it looking at me. I was like, oh, you're so cute.
Adorable. So they have a feeding chart that they follow, and we'll go in order of the cats basically down the whole strip until we get to the center of the property. That's why it's center route. Here's Mr. Apollo. He'll be on our route too. Hi. You gonna have breakfast together today? Where are you going? Where are you going? Yeah, good morning. Good morning, sir.
Got his bucket. All right, we're gonna start with Frankie,
Yay!
our new baby.
Everyone loves Frankie already. Yeah, Craig, King Tut's pyramid was just made out of cardboard. It was meant to be temporary enrichment, but we realized he loved it so much that we'd love to get something more permanent, but the humidity here basically made it fall apart in a few days.
Are you excited about your breakfast?
Good morning, Catherine. So Hoover is considered outback, and we are following center today. So no Hoover this morning, sorry. Here's Frankie.
Woo!
Nice catch. Good catch, bud. You see how quickly Frankie settled in.
He is doing
Good morning,
good.
Deb. So it looks like today is going to be chicken thigh and mush. Mush is basically a ground diet. We refer to it as their vegetables.
I like to break it up into smaller pieces so that when you drop it, it doesn't go all over the place.
Yeah, the mush will explode. Or sometimes it'll just roll off the plate like an actual baseball if you don't make it in smaller pieces.
And I also gave him his chicken first because that way he could just grab it, and with the mush he might just decide to slap it all over the place.
You're doing so good, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. He didn't skip a beat. Yep, this is the cat's favorite time of day because after this, most of them will take a little bath and then sleep until sundown. So, yeah, we thought about 500 pounds of food a day. The cats, depending on breed, age, and other diet restrictions, get a variety of different types of food, different amounts of food. Picky eaters get offered food multiple times a day, but almost everybody eats one time in the morning. Frankie's a bobcat. He likes his vegetables. He's doing so good.
I haven't really got to spend a lot of time with him yet. So
That's nice.
it's my first time feeding Frankie.
How pretty his coat color is. He's like this reddish brown color.
It's gorgeous.
He's so beautiful. Has like greenish gray eyes. Just beautiful.
You're gonna get every crumb.
Every little morsel. Yeah. Frankie's a part of the Clean Plate Club, which we love.
We love that.
Sorry, foot, buddy.
Don't have to come back and pick it out.
Yep. So we observe them a lot while they're eating because this is the best time of day for us to really get our eyes on every part of the cat up close because, again, they sleep most of the rest of the day. I'm not sure. I think I saw somebody say, why is he in such a tiny cage? That is just a lockout. So you see the box extension off the side of his main cage here. And his cage wraps this way. And then it also goes all the way that way. He has all that down there as well. This is just his feeding lockout. This is their happy space. We I think all of them really enjoy this area because it's where they find fresh water. That's where they know they're getting food. And thank you, Deb, for posting that. bigcatrescue.org/cages will explain how they are put together. All right, I think we're gonna go see Mr. Apollo.
Catherine, I forgot to ask while I was up there. Am I meant to have Keisha's diet?
All right, thank you.
Yes, we do.
If she comes over, you can try and feed her. Otherwise, we'll come get it from you. Well, I don't have it. I forgot to ask. Oh, no. Then you're not supposed to have it because the coordinators have been feeding her. I'll be back.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Susan. I'm so glad that you like the lives in the morning. Gives you a bit of a different perspective. Our sweet old man Apollo. He is a Siberian lynx. He is actually from some of the original rescues in the 90s from a fur farm. And a few days ago, he celebrated being here for 21 years. Hi, Apollo. So Apollo is on the naughty list. That means that before he gets breakfast, his lockout door is closed. So you can see how there's a guillotine door there that is keeping him from being able to go in the lockout. That's so Bonnie can safely get the food in there first. Then she'll raise the door. Hi, Apollo. Yeah. Mr. Hufflepuff. Kylie, that was a jokingly way of saying that we call it their vegetables because it's one of the most important things for them to actually eat. Mush is whole beef animal that has been completely ground up, organ meat, roughage, all of that stuff. So it's not actual vegetables. I use sarcasm. You guys will learn that.
He is always locked out.
Thanks, Tanya. Yeah, I was just explaining that he's on the naughty boy list.
So I can stick my hand down in there.
Exactly. She can be safe about it. Thanks, Deb.
While he's eating, I'm going to shut him out.
And then Catherine had requested that we close him in this back section, probably because he'll be getting maintenance done on his enclosure. So Bonnie just closed that door. It is a bit jungly in there, so you can see he's probably going to be the next project.
Vines in there.
Dylan will be hard at work on Apollo's cage today. Good morning, Susan Bass.
What you got going on over here? What?
So what she's doing is getting a good observe of him. Is he standing on all four paws? Was he walking correctly? Is he chewing on both sides? Does he have any visible scrapes or issues? We factor in, you know, his age. He's an old boy. He just celebrated his 21st rescue anniversary this past week.
You're pushing it off of your plate, sir. I keep it on your plate. What are you doing?
Want me to grab a stick?
Well, let's just let him finish eating and then we'll come back over and say how it is.
Yeah, sometimes even if they push it out, they can still get a hold of it.
Yeah.
I learned that with
before
Ginger.
I stick my hand in this. I get kind of mad.
Yeah. He does. Yep, he also got, looks like chicken and mush. He also got a chicken drum or
Yes.
leg.
Whoop.
You gotta chew it.
You're good at
Good morning,
doing
Donna. Hi, Felicia. Yep, this is Apollo.
that. Oh,
Oh,
yeah. And, oh,
I'm taking this one to go.
so he walked out. So what I could do, let's shut this and pull off some of that mush.
So Apollo pushed some of his food out of the front of the cage so she can close the door again, safely collect it, and then put it back on his plate, reopen the door, and then he'll be able to come back for it. Good morning, Amy.
Let's try this one.
Diane, yeah, everybody's got kind of their favorites. Like, we know Nikita means serious business about chicken more than she does over red meat. Yeah, I mean, every cat has kind of their favorite, but a lot of them like all of it. They're 100% carnivores, so raw meat in general is a-okay with them. We do have a serval named Sheena who we believe has like a red allergy, so she can't really do things with blood. So she's more with like fish and shrimp. Good morning, Jessica. We're following center route today at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida.
Are you just waiting?
And here's Running Bear.
Hi, love.
Hi, Bear.
So he gets a chicken thigh. Oh, you are just ready, aren't you?
The bobcats tend to always want their chicken first, which is nice because they'll walk away with it and then we're able to safely get the mush in without them making a huge mess out of it. Nice.
He's like, come watch me.
Camera shy today. see, he took his prize over there. Oh, you're fine. You coming back for more? He's like, I'm not camera shy. I'll come right back over here. Running Bear seems to be doing okay. He's my Operant cat, and so is Little White Dove. So I really haven't noticed a big change in him in that department. He's obviously still eating. He still comes over and likes to rough and puff in your face. Still got a big attitude. Yeah. Going to town. This is Running Bear. We do not do any breeding. We are a accredited sanctuary by the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, and they hold us to a high standard. We don't do any buying, selling, trading, breeding, or touching of any of our animals here. We don't believe in breeding for a life in cages. So any cat that was born in a cage can never be set free, and that just doesn't seem fair to us. Good job. Yeah, I called it vegetables, and then everybody flipped out like, I thought they were only eating meat.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, people.
I know, we don't.
Like,
It's the healthy part of it, really healthy.
it's what we really, really want them to eat. And that's a great question. So operant conditioning is what I just referred to. He's one of my operant conditioning cats. We're assigned certain cats to work with. It's basically a program that we use here to earn trust between us and the cats. We basically reward them with treats for doing certain natural behaviors, such as coming to the side of the cage when you call them, coming into their feeding lockout, which is where he is right now, and being able to close the door with him in there. That way we can transport them safely without sedating them. The veterinarian can get a close-up look. We can also reward them for laying down when we ask them to and remaining calm. So it's basically like a training program for vet purposes.
So what we'll do is
Hi,
we'll
Lauren
come back
B.
in a second and make sure that he's eating it on our way back.
Running Bear. Yep, he's doing fine. And you can see he's just in his feeding lockout portion of the enclosure. Good morning, John.
He's successfully locked in the back. He's locked in the back.
All right, I think we're gonna keep moving.
We're gonna go this way, actually.
Oh, Loki. Yes, little Loki. We caught little Loki with a baby snake yesterday. Yeah. I was coming out to see if I could, see anybody doing anything cute for video or photo, and he was being awfully cute, and then as I walked up I noticed he was playing with something and he had a little baby snake. Oh, thank you, Wolfgang, for the donation. Appreciate that. So he's become an expert little hunter. Hi, Loki. You gonna eat breakfast? Probably not with us standing here, huh? He's still very, very elusive, so he's one of those cats that you kind of put the food down and then wander away. So this is Loki.
Yeah, little pieces of chicken feet.
Yeah, there's too many.
He's
of us.
uncertain, but he will come back.
Yeah. And I have to show you guys who's lurking over there behind. You see Skipper back there. Skipper absolutely loves to watch Loki eat breakfast. It's really cute. He's got a very intense look. It was a little black racer. Not uncommon for our cats to get a hold of wild caught things, lizards, frogs, snakes, occasionally an opossum, squirrels, unfortunately. Survival of the fittest out here if they're gonna wander into a wildcat's cage. It does happen. Alright, so we're gonna let Loki have some space, but we will walk over and say hi to Gilligan. Gilligan and Skipper will be next. Hi. Hi, sweet boy. Thank you, Grady, for the donation. Hi. Oh, it's so sunny. Goodness, I'm overwhelmed by the donations today, you guys. I'm not sure what you emailed Big Cat about and haven't gotten a reply on. I'll try to connect with you after the live feed. I don't think Luana or Carol are in the feed right now. This is Gilligan. He knows it's his turn. Wow. Sweet Gilligan. Yeah, thank you, Grady. Amazing. Gilly. Oh, Skipper came over, so let's go see him a little bit closer too. Hi. Hi, Skip. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, poof, poof. Poof, poof. Yep, these two, Skipper and Gilligan, are Canada lynx. Yeah, I told you, breakfast here is a big deal. Hi, Skipper. Mr. Skip. So we're going to feed Skipper first. He's a little more shy and elusive too. He tends to stay outside of the lockout for feeding, or he's a little skeptical. I'm gonna take that to go. I think it's the cutest thing to watch them prance with the food. They're so proud.
Heads up, like.
They like to show off to their neighbors. Look what I got. Awesome. So there's Skipper. You can see he just takes it a little bit further in. Make sure nobody can take it back. And then sweet Gilligan. Now he's all ready and waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that I'm ready?
Wow. Good job, bud. So he looks like it's going to be mostly a chicken thigh, chicken leg, and mush day for everybody. So mush is basically a ground diet, a ground beef diet.
It kind of looks like
it kind of looks like hamburger, sort of.
Yeah, a little bit.
Go. But it's the entire...
There's pepper in there.
Yeah, we seasoned it for them. Oh, thank you, Jennifer, for the donation. So it's a ground diet that basically includes the whole animal. So it's the most natural thing to what they would eat in the wild. It would have organ meat, bone meat, bone, as well as roughage that they would be experiencing in the wild. Good job, bud. Back for, looks like the leg. All right. Good job, bud. Thank you guys so much for the donations. Thank you to everybody that's sharing this feed. That really does help us reach new people that we might not reach otherwise. If you're just joining, this is Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. And that is Gilligan, a Canada lynx, eating his breakfast. You can hear him crunching. Yep. crunchy breakfast. Exactly why hands don't go in cages. Her hand in a white glove looks just like a chicken quarter.
Covered with meat.
Covered with meat, so. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Oh, and look who snuck back in behind me. There's Skipper again. And then you can also see Loki in the background. So Loki, Skipper, and Gilligan. All enjoying breakfast.
Hey, Bonnie. Hey, I'm sending Tanya out to help with Little.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Yeah, Deborah, I would say a lot of the cats recognize their names or know their names. They may not really give you true recognition, but you'll at least see their ears move or some way they'll show that they at least heard you. And some more than others. I think Gilligan definitely knows his name and all of his nicknames. That's the problem though, is I'd say all the keepers have probably a dozen nicknames for every cat, so yeah, I call him Gilly. Hi, Sharon Henry. The scariest thing about being around these cats, I would just say that the whole concept of a cat in a cage is unpredictable. I mean, you might think you know their personality, but they're still a wild animal. So cats that you never thought paid you any attention are suddenly stalking you or chasing you around the cage. So you're just always on your toes, always alert, always got to be safe. Oh yeah, Tess, these cats definitely know routine. I think the cats even realize when it's the weekend and we have the keeper tour. Because a lot of the time during the week, most of the cats will just wander off and go take a nap. But on the weekends, they seem to linger a little bit longer, waiting to hear the second or third cart go by. And then it's usually the keeper tour, so. All right. So these were the lynxes. Hi, Skipper. All right, so we're gonna head on down the road. Sounds like we have another intern coming out to help feed littles.
Yeah.
At some point we will, probably Bonnie will break off from the group and go to the leopards, and we will follow her for that.
Alright, so we're gonna go start with the serval.
Nope, and not that I'm aware of. We've got many, many safety measures in place.
Hello!
Hi, Tanya! Welcome!
So glad you haven't had pharmacy?
Nope.
No, it's just all people come.
Alright, so the next handful of cats are all servals. We have Yukari, Sheena, Servi, Cricket, Ginger, Dez, Zimba. Zuzu!
Where is he? Oh, is he out there?
Hi! Are you gonna follow us to the other side? He's like, but this lockout's down. That's where I'm gonna eat. Cameron seems to be doing fine. Let's say hi to Tonga as we pass by. There's Tonga. He's been eating, taking his meds. He was roaring a lot last night and this morning. Up and active. Yukari is super adorable. Here's Serby. Hi, Serby. Of course, I actually think Marie is going to be feeding Serby. Serby is on a medication that requires her to take the med a certain amount of time before she eats a full diet. And so usually it's easier for the meds person to do that. But she knows the drill. She knows that that little box is where the food comes from.
We're gonna go this way to feed. I guess they close this door down here.
For Yukari? Okay. Backtracking. Yukari got himself on the naughty boy list pretty quickly. Servals have incredibly long legs and he really likes to stick them completely out of the cage. He's calmed down a lot since being here. I almost wonder if he doesn't need to be a lockout cat anymore, but... Where are you going?
Come on, Zuzu.
Hi, baby boy.
What are you guys doing?
Here I go.
I was going to your other lockout. Morning, buddy. Oh, he's so cute.
Zuzu. So he also got chicken thigh mush today. This is Yukari serval.
I love it. Enjoy, Zuzu.
Yeah, I think I've missed some comments here. Hopefully you're all talking about the only time we interact with the cats is when they go into the hospital for a procedure. Zuzu. Yukari a few weeks ago celebrated his 1-year rescue anniversary, so he's still very new to us. He's also one of our younger servals. So you can see from this angle he's got a feeding plate, which is what they put the food on, and then his water bowl, and then there's a tile above the water bowl that helps. Doesn't always work, especially when a storm blows through, but it helps keep bird poop and leaves and other unwanted items from going into their water bowls. But we have a team of cleaners that go out to every section and clean all of the plates and clean all of the bowls every day. And then a second group of people go around afterward and do a double check. Yukari. We're gonna head back down. Looks like Marie might be over to feed Serby. Good morning, Betsy. Sorry, I've been kind of watching the cats more than I've been watching the comments, but I always try to go back through afterward and answer any missed questions. I'm coming for you, Marie. So Marie is gonna feed Serby. So we have to make sure she takes the pill. Good morning, Rosa.
Come here, baby. You're a good girl. Come on. You know better. Camera shy?
We've had a couple that are camera shy this morning. Running Bear was being shy.
Oh. Bear?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Eat your lunch. I know you want the chicken. Eat your lunch, little girl. Eat a piece of chicken.
Okay.
And I'm going to run over here and do Sheena and Cricket.
Okay. I will probably stick with you.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, the chicken disappeared.
She's like, more of that,
A little
please.
bit, come on, a little bit of mush. You know. That's a good girl. That was not eating, no.
You can hear all of our noisy ones starting up down here. Cricket, Hutch, and Beecher all chirp and talk to each other in the mornings. So we're gonna follow Bonnie to Sheena, who we were talking about earlier, and Cricket.
a good day.
Miss Cricket. Hi. Hi. You're so talkative. Cricks. Meow. This is Cricket. She's also getting chicken thigh and mush. Her little head. Yep, all the small cats up to the size of cougars can purr. Anything above that is more of a sawing or a roar. Here's Sheena. Yes. Sheena Meena. Sheena Meena. So she is actually getting chicks, fish, and shrimp. Yeah. Because she has like the red or like the beef allergy. And she's also on the naughty list. She even has mesh on her guillotine door because she gets so feisty.
It's crazy, don't you?
Actually gonna come out on this side. She is also quite aggressive, so I hate to make her feel stressed out during feeding time, so keep my distance. Keep my distance. Yes, baby chicks. Gotta feed them what they'll eat and what they're able to eat. One of the closest diets to what they would eat in the wild. They are great bird catchers. You hear all the crunching. Sheena, and there's Cricket.
Good chewers.
Mm-hmm. Teresa, that's a good question. We do try to house the cats by breed, so like you'll find almost all of our servals in a section. A lot of the bobcats are all near each other. The tigers are in the section. Nikita is the only one that is pretty much sectioned off from everybody else. For her safety and ours, she just doesn't tolerate seeing other cats. But everyone else does pretty good. We have Natalia actually lives right next door to Cricket, and they seem to get along just fine. Cricket doesn't seem stressed out at all. Yeah, Barbara, we have 2 lions right now. We have a female named Nikita, and we have a male named Cameron. They've been roaring off and on in the background, but neither are on our route today. Good job, Sheena. Alright, we will carry on. I think we're probably heading to leopards next with Bonnie. So we'll see Natalia. We'll probably see Frosty on Funcation, and then we'll see Armani and Sundari. So Marie is still feeding Servi. Jamie's heading out to feed her cats. Morning.
Careful. It's not full in the morning. It's not sometimes. In front of a cat's cage is not the best.
So they're just checking the feeding chart and dividing up who's going to feed who.
You want to do Frosty because he's in leopard name? Yeah, I can do Frosty. Because you're going to either hang out with Frosty for a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Then we'll take the rest of them. Hutch, Beecher, Cyrus, Chaos, Diablo. Baseball one of them. Thank you.
Tracy, no, I'm not actually part of the rehab program, so I don't have the latest news on that. I do know, actually Deb has the answer for when they can ideally be placed out, but every cat is different, so it just kind of depends on the need of the kittens.
This is all we need. Heart rate down over there. This is all we need. Oh, perfect. I don't need the. No.
All right. Well, we're splitting off a little bit so we can get done faster. So Bonnie's gonna feed Natalia. We'll see Frosty, and then we'll see our leopard girls. Thanks, Deb. I wanted to make sure I got it right, and I'm like, oh, she knows that answer too. Morning. Here's Miss Natalia. Yes. Our little hissy girl. She's part serval, if you didn't know. Just kidding. She's an Amur leopard. Oh, here, I can get that. No, lady. No, lady.
Are you excited? I know. I know. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we've had some incredibly generous donations today. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Natalia. She's an Amur leopard.
No.
She's gonna have her breakfast. Hi, lady. You're gonna get in a good position. You're fine.
Go quick as we can. No.
Calm down. I told you guys, breakfast is serious business here. Breakfast is serious business here. Actually, come back on this side, I think. It's a better angle. Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. You're okay. You're fine. I'll walk away. I'll go a little bit further. Just a little bit further. Getting some sun flares. They're so pretty. So this mesh wire that you see on the outside of her lockout, that's to keep vultures and birds and other pests away from her while she's eating, so she doesn't have to feel stressed. Yeah, Nat's a very serious lady. She's settling in very nicely though. Barbara, that's a great question. A lot of people want to know why are their water bowls lifted off the ground, and that's because they would pee in them if they were on the ground. Cats in the wild naturally pee in water sources, so that they can't have their scent detected. It's easier for them to blend in and avoid predators. So we raise it for them. Thank you, Karen, for your donation. Really, really appreciate that, guys. She is definitely a member of the Clean Plate Club. There will be no issue with her finishing that. But what Bonnie will do after we have fed all the cats, as well as the interns that are feeding some of the other small cats, is they will walk back around and collect any food that was left, and then it goes back to food prep. We weigh it, we add it to their chart in the computer, and then the veterinarians are able to keep track of that. All right, so we'll go see Frosty Serval, who's currently on funcation. Kinsey, you're not kidding. She is a rare, rare beauty. One of the rarest cats in the world. Hi, Frost. So Frosty's on funcation, which is a 22,000 square foot enclosure. You can see it spans all the way back there. The small to medium up to the leopard-sized cats come out here for 2 weeks at a time. He's also on the naughty boy list. A lot of servals, their long legs like to swat at us while we're dropping food. Mr. Frosty. Yeah, I know. That's just you're saying thank you, right? Hilda, that's a good question. Yeah. That's a great question. If they don't want to go on vacation or funcation, we don't force them. We had a great example this past Thursday. Gabrielle Tiger was set to go out on our 2.5 acre vacation rotation. We gave her a few tries, gave her a few minutes to decide if she wanted to go through the tunnels out to vacation or not, and she absolutely said no thanks. So we closed up her end of the tunnel and we wound up letting Priya go out, and Priya went out within minutes. No hesitation there. With the smaller cats, same deal. If we have to load them into a transport cage, if it's just not happening or it's going to be too stressful, we just don't force them to go. Some of them enjoy their own staycation and they just stay home. Good job, Frosty. This is Frosty Serval at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. Yep, if you guys want to learn any of the backstories on any of the cats you've seen, go to bigcatrescue.org/catbio. Every single cat has a story on there. Doing so good, Frost. Yes, some of the bobcats go on vacation, Sarah, but I will say they seem to be the species that doesn't super enjoy it. I'm trying to think of a bobcat that was out last that would have enjoyed it. The bobcats and the smaller cats really like to be able to hide in foliage, and as you can see, since this enclosure is still so new, there's trees and such, but there's not a lot of ground cover. So they stay hidden in that very back section that you see back there because that has a lot of palmettos. They'll come out to eat, but then they pretty much stay back there. So the servals seem to enjoy it. The cougars and leopards seem to enjoy it. All right, well, we're gonna go see Armani and Sundari.
Gals is so cute.
I know, those caracals are awesome. There's Hutch over there.
Hutch.
Sweet boy. And we can't usually pass by Beecher. There's Beecher's over there eating in his lockout right now. Yep, Donna, you're right. Frosty is the father of Tonga and Pharaoh.
Okay.
That was way back when we thought breeding cats would help with conservation, and we've since learned that that's not the case. If a cat was born in a cage, it can never go free. Not a lot of conservation in that. It's not the same when they're caged for their whole life. You're right, Shauna. The only time Beecher's not talking is when he's got a mouthful of food.
Morning, Lanny.
All right, so we're gonna see our leopard girls. got Sundari sneakily waiting. Hi, sweet lady. And our talker. This is Armani. Hi, lady.
Lots to say. So pretty. Yeah.
I always feel like she's saying wow.
Wow.
Tonga and Pharaoh were born with a trait called leucism. It's the same as white tigers. Apparently their parents were more closely related than anyone would have known. And it's a genetic trait that causes the white fur. Not naturally occurring in nature, not typically. If they were born in the wild, mother would usually get rid of them because they would give away the whole family. This is Armani. Armani. And then we'll have Sundari behind us. Pan over to see Sunny. This is Sundari.
Yes, ma'am. You're so beautiful.
Yep, we do flea treatments. Cindy, we feed out about 500 pounds of food a day across the 70 plus cats. We've got 9 rehab bobcats right now. Number keeps steadily growing, but they get a variety. So day to day it changes a little bit. Chicken, pork, beef. They get humanely euthanized whole prey twice a week.
Can you touch the small cats if you don't mind? Thank you.
Just stepped back so you can see Armani and Sundari. Plus, I've noticed the leopards, when you get a little too close to them, they really start scarfing their food. And you know, it's just like the cats at home. If they eat too fast, they usually puke it back up and then eat it again. Rather not see that today. Of course. Yeah, Mary, the Wildcat Walkabout should be really fun this year. To my knowledge, all the rehab bobcats are doing great. I'm not a part of the rehab program, so I don't see it as closely as some of the others, but everybody seems to be doing great. Now you can hear Beecher. He must be done. So what the feeders will do now, since these were the last 2 cats on our route, is they're going to walk back through, take a look at every cat's plate, and if anything was left behind, they'll pick it up. It'll go back to food prep, and everything will get charted for the coordinators, Jamie, and our vets group, and then we keep a close eye on that from day to day. We do have a foster kitten program. Kitten Karma heads that up. You guys can watch, we have several different cameras all over the property. You guys can watch from explore.org. So just go to bigcatrescue.org/cams And you can find all the links to all the different cameras. We've got several cameras up on the rehab bobs as well. So thank you again to everyone who donated. This is pretty overwhelming. You guys really stepped it up today. We really appreciate that. And thank you to everybody who was sharing and helping answer questions for me. I will head back to my desk and answer any questions I might have missed. So we will say thank you to Bonnie.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Have a great day.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye, guys.